Hello, you're listening to Hibs Talk. I'm your host as always, Gavin. Joining me today is Dave.
Alright.
And Stephen.
Hello.
So, we're going to fire on obviously a lot to talk about with the Rangers game today. Just a shorter podcast, kind of firing through that. We weren't going to do any news, but just quickly like to touch on Lewis Stevenson getting a call up along with John McGinn and Dylan McGeoch for the Scotland squad. Stephen, starting with yourself, what's your thoughts on Lewis getting the call up?
Well, to be fair, I think that was probably the biggest surprise out of the call-ups. It was good for him, we've been calling for him to get it, but I just think over recent years he's been a bit more inconsistent. This season's been one of his best, I think, in a Hibs shirt, with the lack of left-backs in the squad, with the absence of Tierney and Robertson. It's a good opportunity for him, so hopefully he can kick on for that.
Dave, can you see him getting much game time, or do you think Barry Douglas might, who obviously just promoted with Wolves, would give him a bit of competition for game time?
I think this will be the only time that he's called up. I think he just needs to enjoy this wee experience. I think he will get a shot, but as soon as say Robertson and Tierney and that are back, then
it's a position that Scotland are really strong in. So
I can't see it being a recurring thing, so hopefully he does get some game time because he deserves it.
And then with the fact that it's 2 games, hopefully he gets 2 caps, and then we can have the whole Louis got 2 who's got a double meaning, which would be nice. And just while we're quickly talking about international football, Jamie McLaren, that's came out, the Australia squad's been announced and he's not made the cut. He's been cut from it, despite scoring a hat-trick yesterday in the Rangers game, which leads us nicely into the Rangers game. So let's get started with penalty to begin with. Both of you, what was your thoughts, Dave? Penalty?
Yeah, it's definitely a penalty.
Stephen?
Aye, looking back, definitely a pen.
Aye.
He didn't need to do either because Slivka's ball in wasn't it good?
I know. I mean, something we maybe could have talked about later on, but Slivka's crossing throughout the whole game wasn't great. You can tell he's a central midfielder being pushed out to the right. He done well overall, but yeah, the ball wasn't great. It was always going to the goalkeeper. He didn't need to do that. So, but he did, and definite penalty. And I just watched it back there just minutes ago in Sports Scene. Dave, what would you think of the penalty?
I didn't actually realise at the time how much that top corner it went. I was just relieved that it went in. But it was like top bin. Perfect.
And then blinks before you know it, 2-0. Stephen, what was your thoughts on the ball for Stevenson, head down for Slivka and then headed in by Allen? What was your thoughts on overall play?
Slid in by
Allen. No, it was definitely
slid in by Allen, aye.
It's pretty much what we've been seeing for Hibs for the last 4 or 5 games now. Stevenson's really pushed on, and I mean his crossing's been a lot better and it's made a big difference, but overall play for Hibs the last few games, I think it's just been classy. And they've all been well worked goals as well, so I'm really chuffed.
I think that's something that Stevenson's definitely been working on, was crossing, because I mean we always thought it was a criticism about how he couldn't cross, but seems to be getting better. And then he got another assist, well his first assist of the game, but straight to McLaren's head into the far right corner. Dave, what was your thoughts on McLaren's header?
See, when that went in, it was just ecstatic.
Aye.
It was a really good head on that, but it was like, is this
it's more
actually
about the moment?
Is this actually happening?
I mean, I think I turned around to you two and I turned around to everybody around and just sort of says, we couldn't, could we?
We
couldn't, could we?
This
couldn't happen, could it?
Nah, that's when the belief proper kicked in. Before it was like, I'm putting a couple of pound on 6-0, like kind of banter, hee. But then when I actually that was the moment I was like, shit, this could actually happen.
I know, because up until that point I was like, oh my god, we're beating Rangers 2-0, this is great. I didn't care about the 6-0, I mean, if it happens, I didn't even think it could happen. I was just enjoying the fact that we were so good against Rangers and just playing them off the park. What was going through your mind, Stephen, when the third one went in?
Well, I think I was quite expecting after the first 2. It just seemed as though goals were just got to keep on coming. After the third one went in, I think there's just like a proper buzz about the stadium as well, and that's what spurred the team on. I think it wasn't long after that as well that we nearly went in for the fourth in that corner. So
Yeah.
no, it's been really, really good.
Yeah, so like Stephen just mentioned there, we had the corner, Whittaker had the header and the goalkeeper caught it quite comfortably. From the throw out from that, the counter attack, I mean, Whittaker was too busy being annoyed that he'd missed the chance. Effie didn't look that interested in getting back, and then all of a sudden, they're counter attacking, they've got more men forward than we've got back, and Tavernier, it gets cut back to Tavernier and Tavernier scores. Should Hibs have really been pushing for the fourth at that point, Dave, or do you think they should have kind of held off a bit?
It does depend on where you look at it, because we did need to keep pressing while they were on the ropes. In hindsight, I'd have quite liked them sat on 3-0 for like 5-10 minutes.
Just kind of caught our breath and then went again.
And then just kind of tried to control the game a wee bit, then go again. But at the same respect, see if they had done that, and then the game had kind of plateaued out, and it was like 3-0 for a long period of time, we'd be like, why did we just keep going? But we probably were a wee bit defensively naive because we thought they weren't much an attacking threat, and obviously turned out they were. But I wouldn't really change much about it with the right idea to just go for it.
Aye, so then we had poor defending from Hibs, I think it's fair to say. Hanlon and Stevenson kind of creating a big gap in between the two of them. Rossiter ran through it and put it back past Marciano. Stephen, what was your thoughts when they kind of got it back to 3-2?
I think there was a wee bit of panic that it was just got to fade out for us, and that would be it. They would just keep going and going and going. But it was good just to see at that point that Hibs just kept pressing. And I mean, obviously we knew what we needed to do. When it went to 3-2, it just seemed as though it was maybe a bit beyond us. But the fact is, and I think Lennon says after the game as well, that like with the way that it was set up for that game, like there was no point in just sitting back and defending. I think Dave just said it as well, that like all the momentum was with us, and when they had pulled it back to 3-1, we were straight back up in their box as well. And like, I mean, fair enough, we conceded a few, but the threat for us was always there. And even when we kept going down, like we just looked as though we were got to keep scoring. And I mean, it was a really good game to watch. Like.
So the next up was the red card. Should Scott Allen have seen red card from both of you quickly? Yes or no?
100%.
Unfortunately, at the time, didn't get me wrong, I celebrated it like it was a goal. It was class. It was good to see, but at the time when I seen it at the game, I didn't think it was as bad as when I seen it on the telly. Didn't think he was as late, and like he kind of wraps his legs right round them and like scissors onto the ground. Aye, probably. But any Rangers fans that's asked me at work, I'm like, nah, it's not sent enough. Aye.
Oh, I've just gone the opposite. I've said and we should have got Stoke sent off for the elbow at Tavernier at Ibrox. But yeah, I mean, I think the fact that from then, that was just before half time. I think if that had been, 5 minutes before, I think that burst it gave us a bit more going in towards the end, towards half time. We seemed a bit more lively, seemed to get our fight back a bit from that challenge. It seemed to kick us on. And then half time came, and then we didn't come out the same in the second half, unfortunately. So next up, FA kind of a bit sloppy, although this was also in the first half. I've kind of contradicted myself. Again, a counter attack. FA quite sloppy and gets booked. And I mean, there's nothing really we can say. It was a great free kick from Bruno Alves. I think you both agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, you thought it was in at the time.
Yeah.
You turned around and meant to me, this is in.
Aye. The boy can have a free kick.
Aye, you probably couldn't have placed it in a better position, like for him to get it up near the wall. There's quite a lot of space at that right hand side in Marciano's. Probably a wee bit too much space, but you can't be overcritical because it was a brilliant free kick.
So talking about being overcritical, I mean, McGinn has a sloppy pass. Hanlon's maybe a bit too deep with the defending. Effie's attracted to the ball. Can we kind of be overcritical of the overall defending with the next Rangers goal, especially with Whittaker being so far over to the middle, leaving so much space for Holt? Stephen, what's your thoughts on the defending with that goal? to make it
Well,
4-3.
like I says, I mean, I think that we had set up like purely just to attack the whole 90 minutes. Like I don't think even Lennon says much about the defending after the game because that's the way that he wanted to play it. He just wanted to keep going and going and going. When you've got that kind of set up, like for 90 minutes, players are just got to be pulled out of position so easy. And I think looking back at the first half, it just seemed as though Rangers weren't really that much an attacking threat. Like I think they had 3 shots and 3 goals in the first half. So,
But even with Steven saying that, Dave, I mean, we just sort of watched it back on Sports Scene there. You seen like there was almost like a triangle over in the left centre back area. How did they go from there? They were a back 4, back 5. How did they lose their shape so much?
Whittaker got pulled across, was kind of in the position that Hanlon should have been in, which meant Hanlon was sitting a couple of yards deeper and meant that there was absolutely nobody out at Holt. Jason Cummins does do well, even as much as he's a wee knob. He'd done well, turned in, didn't panic, looked like the chance was away, cuts it across, and at that point there, like when he's about to just play it in the middle to whoever played it out wide, that's when you look at it, like you can pause your telly, and it's that point you can see how out of position everybody is.
Yeah, really bad.
Aye.
And then there was another deflected goal. This time it comes off Windass and goes down. I thought it'd come off Ambrose again, but apparently it came off Windass. Holt's shot.
Aye.
Holt's second of the game. And then good bit of play. Again, kind of shrugs off. I think it's Holt challenging him. Slivka plays it to Slivka, who then plays a lovely ball through. McLaren, good finish in the bottom left hand corner, gets the second of the game. What was your thoughts kind of when we kind of got went to one behind?
I thought we could honestly do it just because the way the game had been going. I was like, this is an absolute mental, like 5 each. Like a point is the absolute least we deserve for that game. Like we deserve to win it. Like I think we're the better team. We just gave away too many chances. Basically, defending was just out the window.
Aye.
Like that there is an absolute masterclass for how not to defend. Like for the two teams, But
I mean, saying that, I mean, there's been a lot. There was the 5-4 game in the Premier League yesterday, and the 5-4 game in the La Liga, and one was about fast flowing attacking football, and the other one got referred to as you'd only see this in the Premier League, and then we went, oh, really bad defending. Are we too? I mean, quickly just off topic, but are we too negative on our game in general? Should we embrace that it's such an attacking, entertaining game? The last 2 games at Easter Road.
Aye, but I'm not saying it negatively. Like I'm saying,
I mean, obviously we've got to be critical
factual.
because we're talking about Hibs and stuff like that. But in general, should we embrace our game more and be more positive about it as a culture? Just a quick question. So it's something to ponder about. Stephen, quickly, what was your thoughts on that? You seem to have something to say there.
I think that like going forward against teams that are so like over defensive, like that's the teams that you need to play football like that against, like your Hamilton and like Motherwell, St Johnstone and stuff. Like their games, like you could probably win by about 7 goals, like because they've not really got much like producing an attack either. So I mean, you're playing against a Rangers team there who like have got a lot of goals in them. They play like that every single week, and that's how they concede. That's how they've not finished second or even top of the league, is the fact that they're so bad defensively. I mean, that's how they were plus 25, and that's how we were like needing 6 goals to win that game anyway. It was just
because they've scored so many goals. They are an attacking threat. Yeah, we can
exactly, and that's what we should be putting ourselves across as. Obviously, like the tougher games against Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen, things like that, play a bit more defensively. But if you're playing a 3-5-2 most weeks, why not have the wing backs more involved and like play for goals? If you're outscoring teams, you've got to win the game, regardless of how many we're conceding. And I think that's what we're going to need to put into practice going forward. Like, I mean, I've been calling out for like 4-0 like most of the season, and in the last 2 games at Easter Road we scored 5. Like that's what I was saying that we are capable of doing, and that we just didn't do it enough.
And hopefully with next season we can continue that, but just sort of tighten it up at the back a bit as well.
Aye, of course.
So McGregor had a good clearance. I think I've just put that in my notes because I just have to say I don't understand why he didn't start. I mean, I know nobody really had nobody
Pash against Hearts.
Nobody had a good game against Hearts, and I don't think he was the most guilty culprit. But that's another conversation to be had another day. And the less we talk about the Tynecastle debacle, the better. Holt got his red card. He's already on the booking. I mean, it was like he wanted to play for Hibs and pull McGinn's top off him. He wanted that top. That was going to be his top. The amount he yanked at that top. Stephen, what was he thinking? Why would he do that when he was on a yellow card? Can you think in his mind why he would do that?
I just think
at the halfway line,
moment, like just purely heat of the moment. It was a game that was gone end to end, non-stop.
Just kind of got lost in the game.
He knew I had a bet on.
It was basically just like you could have anybody in that position. We thought that Halliday would get sent off. We thought that Holt would get sent off after he picked up his card. Windass was close as well with some stupid challenges. Then you could name a whole host of Hibs players that could have been sent off for stupid, reckless things as well. So I think it was just at that point in the game, like it could have been anyone getting sent off because they were all just far too involved in it.
So finally we had the goal. We had Stokes running the Tavernier down the left hand side again. Dave and Stephen are looking at me. I was hoping you would correct me there. I was going to be like, I think this is why it's not staged. I was saying Stokes because it just looked like that. The way Barker kind of steadied his run and then went bursting past him.
He
can't defend, but it was exactly the same. I mean, if somebody better with video can do this, get Tavernier up against Barker and Tavernier up against Stokes, and they'll be the exact same. It's just I think Barker's probably watched it and seen how bad he is at defending and used that because he just ran at him like that. He done it a couple of times, but this is the one where he finally got the decent ball across. McLaren scored. Everyone goes wild. Lennon gets sent to the stand. Caps off an unbelievable game. And I mean, any mates try to wind me up with that. I don't care. I mean, we'll kind of talk about this more next week with the season review and stuff, but this has been one of the most enjoyable seasons, and if any team says, "Oh, we've been more entertained than Hibs this year," I don't believe you, because the ups, the downs, Celtic boring win the league. You know, they're always going to do it. Aberdeen play some pretty boring football. Hearts play boring football. Kilmarnock have had quite an entertaining season. I'll give them that. Rangers have had entertaining off the field. And everyone else has been kind of dogged in a relegation fight. Hibs have had the most entertaining season. We have, for our money, we've had the best return, I'd say.
Well, look at the last three home games. Like 2-1 against Celtic. That was an absolute ball.
Sensational game.
Sell it. Place was absolutely bouncing. Then we had the 5-3 against Kilmarnock. Had to open the south in that again to get more Hibs fans in. Place was absolutely bouncing. And then like yesterday, 5 each. Like what the feck is that? Like,
understandably, with the goal, with Rangers getting back into the game, the Hibs fans kind of quieting down and stuff. But see that first 25 minutes before kick-off, which I genuinely think had an impact in the game. My man, I was thinking that about thinking ahead to the podcast. If it stays like this, my man of the match is the crowd, because the crowd were sensational yesterday. Absolutely brilliant.
There was only two wee tiny wee things, right? I didn't like folk throwing stuff at players.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Halliday was getting lighters and that chucked at him. We keep going on about Hibs class. That's no Hibs class. I thought it was poor. And I thought
we're quick enough to criticise them at Ibrox when they do it.
And I thought it was poor when fans were leaving at 5-3. Considering it's the last game of the season, we're on a joint records point total, which everybody that left then missed us beating by the last minute. They missed Lenny doing the Lenny. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm now calling it. Let's all do the Lenny. Aye. So they missed that. So I can understand frustrations because you're up 3-0 and then you're all of a sudden doing 5-3. But you've just got to bite. You let them go. Okay, this is life as a Hibs fan. Like ups and downs, and it is like just such an emotional game. It's like there wasn't anything that was missing. So,
Stephen, final thoughts on yesterday?
Just unreal. It was the best way you could possibly cap it, apart from a win. That's genuinely my thoughts on the game.
Great way to end up what has been a brilliant season. So
And it was good that they didn't get second.
yes, aye, stop that as well. So we will be back next week to do a season review. I know it's been a bit shorter today, but this is our last sort of match analysis one. We'll do loads more over the summer, and I'll chat about that later. But yeah, just want to say, thanks to the guys for coming along every week and chatting with Hibs about main stuff, and can't wait for next season.
No worries, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Right, okay, thanks for listening, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video, folks. Click on my face to subscribe, click here to check out Murray's channel, and click here roughly for the last podcast. Thanks again.